Hey everybody, so last night I saw Rocketman, directed by Lee Hall, starring Taron Egerton, Jamie Bell, Richard Madden, and Bryce Dallas Howard. Rocketman isn't one of my favorite movies of the year like I thought it would be going into it, but it is leaps and bounds better than Bohemian Rhapsody from last year. Now, what works for this movie works exceptionally well, and what doesn't work really falls flat for me. Starting out with the good things, there are moments of this movie I genuinely loved. The first 20 minutes are stellar, and it had me thinking this is easily going to be one of my favorite movies of the year, and is going to be a great movie, period. The cinematography of the entire movie is great. The camera moves fluidly throughout, doing a bunch of one shots and tracking shots with interesting transitions and camera movements. The camera in this movie does a lot of magic to really make you feel like something's going on that's really, really cool and really special and fantastical about the movie and about Elton John himself. And it really works well to get that point across of who Elton John was and is and his entire act. It really plays well into that aspect. The cinematography is great for every music scene. This movie is part normal music biopic, part musical, and the musical scenes are great. When it's in a musical mode, Rocketman feels Mamma Mia-esque, where characters break into song with no warning, and it was interesting to see a music biopic in this format. The scene where they finally sing Rocketman is no less than great, and to me is easily better than anything in Bohemian Rhapsody. It works really well, it looks cool as hell, the choreography is great, the staging is great, and everything about it just really works and pops off the screen for me and looks cool as hell. And the final musical sequence at the end of the movie is a great end to Elton John's story that we have built throughout this movie. It is a great end cap for the movie and is my by far probably my favorite part of the movie, where they sing "I'm Still Standing," and it really works great and it looks cool as hell. And the way it's directed, looked, and shot in this one scene is so much different than the rest of the movie that really stands out and looks just cool, period. Lastly, the costumes on Taron Egerton. Oh, let me backtrack a little bit. I skipped one. Taron Egerton does a great job portraying Elton John. I really liked him in this role, and I feel like it felt him and Elton John as a person very well. I didn't know going into the movie how well he would do with this, because I've seen him in Kingsman and that's just about it. And I really wanted to see how he would do portraying somebody that's not a made up character. And he does an exceptionally well job at it. I really liked him in the role. Lastly, all the costumes for Edgerton are great. And each one looks completely different, just like in real life for Elton John. On the other side, however, the story gets painfully slow during the middle of the film. I almost felt bored and felt like the movie would just kept repeating itself in a way. The movie is just over 2 long, and it feels longer than that somehow. It feels like it's 2.5 hours. It just really, really drags on in the second and most of the third act. And it was really disappointing because until that point, I was really enjoying myself with this movie, and I couldn't help but feel bored and uninterested at times. And it's really a detriment to the film. The Pinball Wizard scene in the movie, when they sing Pinball Wizard, though I understand why it is filmed and presented in the way that it was, made me personally feel queasy, spinny, and I thought that I was going to throw up. It was a very strange choice for a movie, and to me, like I said, I understood why they did it and why they shot it that way and why they included it. It just, to me, I don't know how other people felt, it just made me feel queasy and weird and like it didn't belong in a way. Uh, and the last thing I want to say is that a lot of the character relationships with his mother, his father, other people in his life, some are built and established okay, but others don't have nearly enough screen time to be believable, especially between Edgerton and Jamie Bell. You're meant to believe that they are best friends. They've been best friends for a long time, but there simply isn't enough on-screen time for them to make the audience believe that. But I really thought this movie would end up in my top 10 favorite movies of the year going into it and from the way it started. But the good and the bad even themselves out very well. There are scenes and things in this movie I really, really love, and that is where I got a lot of the enjoyment out of it. And for me, I am going to give Rocketman a 7.3 out of 10. But basically, it's better than Bohemian Rhapsody. That's all you really need to know.